A lot of people has been telling me that Catholics don't read the Bible, and in fact, I have a lot of Catholic friends that admit that they don't read the Bible, not because they don't want to, but because they just don't know how to start or where to start reading the Bible. Hello everyone, welcome again to the channel, and this is Sky, and right now I am going to offer to you or tell you some tips on how you can start to read the Bible. Over the years, I have tried a lot of ways on reading the Bible, and I have tried reading it from cover to cover. I have tried reading it from the New Testament all the way back to the Old Testament, and I also tried reading a chapter a day, or I have tried a lot of things. Right now, I'm just going to offer to you some tips on how you can start reading the Bible, because I can guarantee you'll be amazed once you start pouring your heart into it, because God will also pour back all those words and messages to you, to your heart, and to your soul hundredfold. And it's really nice to know how God can speak to us through reading the sacred scriptures, through reading his words, and it's just amazing. So here are some practical tips as you start reading the Bible. First is to have your own Bible and own it. There are a lot of versions of the Bible that is available out there for you. It is the best-selling book, so I'm sure all bookstores have a Bible. Make sure to find what is best for you, what you can understand, because yes, as I've told you before, there are a lot of versions of the Bible. So make sure that it is a Catholic Bible. If you're a Catholic, there are 73 books in the Catholic Bible. If you want to know the reason why some of the Bibles doesn't have 73 books, we can discuss it in another video, and I'll have someone to tell you why. But right now, make sure that if you're a Catholic and if you want to read the Bible, the Catholic Bible has 73 books. Also, another way to know that it is a Catholic Bible, aside from the label that you see in front of the Bible, is it has an imprimatur. An imprimatur is an official license by the Roman Catholic Church to print an ecclesiastical or religious book. It is licensed, it is allowed to be published, and it is approved by our church hierarchy. You can find the imprimatur at the first pages of the Bible, and it is usually signed by a bishop. If you like illustrations and pictures, there are Bibles that are made with illustrations, with drawings, so that you can fully understand and imagine the scene while you are reading the Bible. It's like a storybook. So like my Bible, this is my Bible. As you can see, it is green because I like the color green, and it's very handy that I could bring it anywhere. And as you can see, there are illustrations inside the Bible. So you can see there, so that every time I'm reading, I could imagine the scene that I am reading, and I like it. As you can see, there are illustrations in the Bible. So I bought this Bible at the Philippine Bible Society here in the Philippines, and I think they also have this kind of Bible at national bookstores and other bookstores here in the country. Second is, know what kind of books do you like to read. Are you a person who likes to read self-help books, novels, romance novels, or something about leadership and all that? Because all these genres, you can find it also in the Bible, and maybe you can start with that, so that in a way, kung ano na yung gusto mo, yun yung una mong babasahin, di ba? If you like to read about leadership or about womanhood or about being strong, you can start with the book of Esther, which is, I really love that book because I like Esther so much. If you like to read about self-help books, maybe you can start with the book of Acts or the book of Corinthians. If you like to read about romance, maybe you can start with the book of Song of Songs. And it's so amazing because, you know, sometimes all the categories you like to read outside, or all the categories of the books you like to read, you can find it in the Bible. If you want to read about history, or if you want to read about numbers and all that, or tribes and all that, you can also find it in the Bible. Because it is not necessary to read the book from cover to cover, because you'll just fall asleep. And if you find it interesting, once you get to the part that you're not interested, then maybe you'll stop reading because you're not interested already. So if you want to start reading something, maybe you start with the things that you like most. Then afterwards, proceed to the other books. If you really don't know where to start, maybe you can start by picking a book of the Bible and stick to it. My suggestion is to start with the New Testament, going all the way back to the Old Testament. Maybe start with the book of Mark or start with the book of Matthew. The third is to add reading the Bible in your productive to-do list. It is a commitment. It is something that you wanted to do. Read the Bible when you are at your most awake self. Don't read it when you're tired. Don't read it when you're sleepy, because somehow you won't really put those words into heart. But make sure that you're most awake, pour into it, commit into it, and make it your daily habit or make it a part of your day. You can also start reading the Bible by reading the readings of the day. Catholic Church, we have different readings of the day. We start with the first reading, then the Psalms and the Gospel. During special days or Sundays, we have 2 readings, the Psalm and the Gospel. And it's so amazing because you learn a lot, and that's a lot of words already. So what you can do is maybe pick something that struck you and then go over with it into your Bible and start praying and meditating on it and start understanding what the Lord is trying to tell you. So where you can find the readings of the day, you can search it online. Just search Catholic readings of the day. Also, there are books that can accompany you on the readings of the day, like In His Steps or Kerygma or other daily gospel books, and you can find it in almost all the bookstores here in the Philippines, and I'm sure in your country as well. And as you start reading, you can follow this next step. Understand, imagine, and pray. This step is from the website Beginning Catholic, and I find it really helpful as you start reading the Bible. Once you have picked a chapter or a passage or a sub-chapter of the Bible, read it slowly, read it 2 to 3 times, and then try to understand what it meant for you. So next is to imagine the scene. Imagine that you are witnessing everything. Imagine that you are there seeing what is happening around. But just be careful on your imagination. Don't go overboard. Make sure that what you're imagining is what you have read. And then because, you know, you can imagine a lot of other things as well. So make sure that you are imagining within the bounds of what you have read. Using your imagination, you can meditate on the scene and you can understand more of what the Lord is trying to tell you. And the last is to pray. Pray about what you've read, reflect about it, and what I can suggest is maybe get a prayer journal or a simple journal and jot down all the things that you've learned, or the quotations from the Bible that you've learned, or the verses in the Bible that you want to remember, and all the reflections that God is maybe trying to tell you. So what you have reflected, what you have learned, and then it is really nice to also allow God to speak to you to the day. So those are my practical tips on starting to read the Bible, and I hope that you have learned something from me. If you have also more practical tips on reading the Bible, please write them in the comments below, because a lot of people watching can also learn from it. Please do like this video, give it a thumbs up, and of course don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!